Do
Chair. Chair. We are here today.
Charlie?
Chair,
Forget about any other conspiracy theories and some stories. Don't worry about that one.
Chair, can we have
Thank you.
Can we have a moment of laughter? There was a floor crossing yesterday from the ANC to the DA here in the Western Cape.
Honorable Breitenbach.
Thank you, Chair. There appears to be a shortage of the documents available. None of us have got one. So can we please get one before we start? Thank you.
Oh yeah, the honorable members, the Honorable Kola Barnard and Honorable Thopa, may you please help Honorable Breitenbach? Yeah. You only have one. How many do you want? 2, 3, 4 each? Okay. Thank you so much. Honorable members, you disrupted me when I was still greeting you. I wanted to greet Honorable Sangoni to say good morning to you, and she exploded. Honorable Sangoni, good morning to you. Good morning, Honorable Sokanyile. Good morning, Honorable Skosana.
Morning, Chair.
Honorable Nomvalo, good morning.
Morning, Chair.
Good morning, Honorable Shongwe.
Good morning, Chair.
Honorable Breitenbach, good morning. Good morning, Honorable Cameron. Honorable Kola Barnard, a very good morning. Honorable Thopa, good morning to you. Mukhalaka. Mukhalaka. Madume a go swanela mongaka. Good morning. Thank you so much. Honorable Matthews. Good morning. Good morning, Pangazita.
A very good morning, Honorable Chairperson.
Honorable James, good morning.
Fees gegroet, Chairperson.
Thank you so much. We acknowledge your presence, Honorable Kamede, and thank you so much for joining us. SC and Advocate Mukhaitz, good morning to you. Thank you so much. Let me greet you, Ms. Johnson. How are you?
I'm well, Chair. Thank you. And yourself?
Greetings to you and your team.
Thank you.
Honorable Skosana, would you like her to introduce her team so that your fears are...
Yeah, no, Chair, I think we must know. Otherwise, there's a lot of people we don't know here today. Maybe they are like the other ones who were not supposed to be here.
Just to allay the fears of the members that you do not have any unwarranted person.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Member, we also had asked for accreditation. On my right is Mebulelwa Makeke. She is the Executive Head of Communications in the National Prosecuting Authority. I have counsel, junior counsel behind. I have Advocate Mtunzi Maga, who is the Special Director and Head of Legal Affairs at the NPA, and I have senior counsel behind me. But that is the ambit of the NPA team that accompanies the ID this morning. Do you need the details of the counsels?
No, thank you. Through you, Chair. They say there's NPA. Yeah, thank you. We'll see them as well. Thank you, Chair.
What is the name of the senior counsel?
If I can ask my counsels to introduce themselves, Chair.
Okay.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Apla. My surname is Bodlani. Thank you.
Tsietsi Ramatsekisa.
Thank you so much. Honorable Nomvalo.
Yeah, no, thanks, Chair. I just wanted to let you know that Council, Ramatsegisa was my lecturer in the University of Fort Hare. He was lecturing me the law of evidence, a module.
So you want to tell us that you are the evidence of his work?
No, Chair, he's telling you that he's implicated, so he must be out.
Okay. Honorable Pambo, good morning. Thank you so much. The staff of Parliament, we greet you, and the support staff of all political parties. Good morning to all of you. We are going to commence with today's proceedings. Our witness today is Ms. Johnson from IDAC. The senior counsel will come and confirm that the person appearing before us is appropriate. Let me go to the next item and give you apologies. The apology that we have today is the apology of the Chief Whip, Honorable Ntuli, who is still unable to join us due to commitments in Parliament. Honorable Vessels, we have said that he was going to be away for 2 weeks. The 2 weeks period has not expired. For sure it will be expiring tomorrow. We hope to have his return next week. Can I check with you, honorable members, if there is any amongst you who wants to register apologies? Honorable Kusela.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Honorable Ngola is going to be joining us later.
Later.
Thank you.
Do we have apology from Honorable Sols? Okay, let's hope he will join the proceedings later. SC, may you please confirm that the person appearing before us is the person that you and us expected to be here today.
Good morning, Honorable Chair, Honorable Members, Ms. Johnson, everyone in the room, colleagues. Yeah, I can confirm, Honorable Chair, that that is indeed Ms. Advocate Anthea Johnson, the head of IDAC. Thank you.
Thank you so much, SC. Let me move to the next item, which is the administration of oath on our witness. Good morning once again, Ms. Johnson. Before I administer oath, allow me to read the following to you. That you have been invited to appear before this ad hoc committee, which investigate allegations made by Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, and that you have been invited to provide information in relation to the committee's oversight work. The committee is investigating, amongst others, alleged unlawful disbursement of the political killings task team, otherwise known as the PKTT or the NPKTT, and further, the alleged moratorium on the filling of vacancies within the South African Police Services, and alleged corrupt relationships between senior leadership within SAPS and members of the public, as well as political interference in the work of the SAPS. In extending this invitation, the ad hoc committee chairperson has indicated that you may provide such information to the committee if you so wish under oath in terms of the powers, privileges, and immunities of Parliament and Provincial Legislatures Act 2004. Please be informed that by law you are required to answer fully and satisfactorily all questions lawfully put to you or to produce any document that you are required to produce in connection with the subject matter of the inquiry, notwithstanding the fact that the answer or the document could incriminate you or expose you to criminal or civil proceedings or even damages. Ms. Johnson, you are, however, protected in that evidence given under oath or affirmation before a House or Committee of Parliament may not be used against you in any court or place outside Parliament except in criminal proceedings concerning a charge of perjury or a charge relating to the evidence or document required in these proceedings. Please be aware that in terms of Section 17(2) of the Powers, Privileges and Immunities of Parliament and Provincial Legislatures Act, a person who willfully furnishes a House or Committee of Parliament with information or makes a statement before it which is false or misleading commits an offense and is liable to a fine or imprisonment for a period not exceeding 2 years. You are required to take an oath or affirm that the evidence you are about to give is truthful, and so you may elect whether you take oath or affirmation.
Honorable Chair, I'll take the oath.
So, thank you so much. You have decided or elected to take oath. I will read and you will follow me. You will start by saying I and you state your full names.
I, Andrea Johnson,
Swear that the evidence I shall give
swear that the evidence that I shall give
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
And so help me God.
And so help me God.
Thank you so much. I'm going to hand over to you, SC, and I now allocate you between now and 13 hours. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honourable Chair. I will, as usual, try my level best to conclude by 1300 hours. Thank you, Ms. Johnson, Advocate Johnson, for your appearance today and also for your cooperation, your full cooperation and that of your team, both at the NPA and your council. On a lighter note, your senior counsel, the last time I encountered him was in a boxing matter. In a boxing matter when he was acting for the boxing promoters and I was acting for the previous Minister of Sport. So I hope it's not a scene set to some kind of a sparring that we're going to engage in today. Advocate Johnson, you are the head of the Investigating Directorate Against Corruption. We'll refer to it as IDAC throughout the day, or those questions will be asked of you as head of IDAC, and you were appointed by the President as the head of IDAC on the 1st of March in terms of the National Prosecuting Authority Act. There was an amendment subsequent to your appointment, amendment to the IDAC Act in relation to its independence. Just briefly tell us about that.
Chair, thank you. I was appointed on the 1st of March 2022. At the time, it was not called the Investigating Directorate Against Corruption. It was called the Investigating Directorate, having been created in terms of a proclamation in April of 2019. Fast forward to 2024, and through a parliamentary process, the National Prosecuting Authority Amendment Act 10 of 2024 was passed. It therefore created IDAC, Investigating Directorate Against Corruption, as a permanent entity, which came into effect then on the 19th of August 2024.
Thank you. Now, the events of 6 July 2025, now well known, when Lieutenant General Kunazi had a media briefing. You obviously by now know about that, and that's given rise to the appointment of the Ad Hoc Committee by Parliament, the National Assembly, to inquire into a number of allegations that he made. We're hoping that during the course of your testimony you can assist us on at least 3 aspects of the terms of reference of this committee. The one I know we briefly touched on it, but the 121 case dockets, there was some interaction on that aspect, but more pointedly, paragraph 4.1.12 of the terms of reference, which relates to prosecutorial conduct and the relationship between IDAC and the PKTT, that's the Political Killings Task Team, including whether IDAC or any of its officials unlawfully interfered in police investigations or exceeded its mandate. And then item 4.1.18, which is to scrutinize the interagency coordination among SEPs, crime intelligence, IDAC/the NPA, correctional services, Metro Police, and the legal basis for the directives affecting the PKTT, which is a latter part of that terms of reference. So, but before we get into those specifics, perhaps just talk to us about your experience, your academic qualifications, your appointment as an advocate of the High Court of South Africa, and then your subsequent involvement within the criminal justice system, your initial experiences as a prosecutor, as a district prosecutor, and then your elevation subsequently to a senior state prosecutor, state advocate within the Director of Public Prosecutions.
Thank you, Chair. I do, in terms of the academic qualifications, hold a B Juris degree and an LLB degree. I would hope that no one wants to know when I got those. They are extremely old. But in 2007, I also attempted and completed in that year a diploma in criminal justice and forensic auditing at the University of Johannesburg. It was part-time. I have various short courses that you complete during the course and scope of your employment, from project management, coaching and mentoring, money laundering, corruption, all of the relevant courses to enable you to do your work, Chair. I started prosecuting on the 1st of June, 1996, at the Magistrates Court in Alberton. I was then moved to the Regional Court in Germiston early in 1998. But in the Magistrates Court, we did the usual matters that are still done, from assault. Unfortunately, back in the day, I also had to do traffic matters. I also had to deal with maintenance issues, and got in between spouses and or partners about whose rights it were to pay for the upkeep of their children. But it was as basic as that. I was in the regional court for a very short time, where more serious offenses from cash in transit heists, business robberies, murders, and so on were done. And on the 1st of June 1998, Chair, I started as a state advocate at the then Attorney General's office in Johannesburg under then Attorney General De Vries. The National Prosecuting Authority came into being in 1998. And in December of 99, I was then promoted to Senior State Advocate and joined the Directorate Special Operations, colloquially called the Scorpions. I was there till the doors
Who
closed.
was the head of the Scorpions then?
At the time, in terms of the region, it was Advocate Gerrie Nel, and the Deputy National Director in charge was Advocate Leonard McCarthy, but I reported directly to Advocate Gerrie Nel as head of office. I remained there till the doors closed 6 July 2009. However, in that time, on the 1st of April 2004, I became a Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions, and around about April or May of 2006, I became a Senior Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions, which position I held up until the 28th of February 2022. And I then became the Investigating Director on the 1st of March 2022. In that time, I held various portfolios as a Deputy Director, overseeing prosecutions and investigations in the DSO. I was also at the DPP office and fell under what was called the organized crime component, where we dealt with organized crime matters. And from February 2019 till the end of February 2022, I was the National Coordinator Organized Crime at the NPA's head office.
Just the period when you were with the DSO, as you say, colloquially referred to as the Scorpions. Just discuss with us some of your experiences there and perhaps some of the more prominent matters or cases you became involved in as a prosecutor.
Honorable Chair and members, when the DSO started initially, it started with organized crime matters. And I think during the course of late 2003, what was then called ITSIO, which was the Investigating Directorate Serious Economic Offenses, also came over to the DSO. So the DSO then ended up doing what the Hawks now do: serious organized crime, serious complex, serious commercial crime, serious corruption matters. And that became the ambit of the work that the DSO did. I was mainly involved in organized crime matters, but later on became involved in the serious corruption matters that were done at the DSO. There, much like what IDAC operates now, we had deputy directors who would lead a team, and the team would be comprised of advocates of various rankings, as well as criminal investigators. And we would form a team that would then deal with the matters that were allocated to us. I myself dealt with various matters, not just the corruption matters, but when it came to one of the more prominent matters, one of the matters that I dealt with together with Advocate Gerrie Nel was the investigation and prosecution of corruption allegations against the late Jackie Selebi, who at the time was the National Police Commissioner and the first African head of Interpol. And we saw that matter through to its finality. But in that time, Chair, the DSO was disbanded. And so in July 2009, as with most advocates, we were given an opportunity to choose which Director of Public Prosecution's office you would like to work in. Advocate Nel and I, who are Pretoria-based, chose the office of the DPP Pretoria, also because in October of that year, the matter for trial in the Selebi matter had been set down. And so practically it made sense that we would be in our home base and would be able to deal with the prosecution. And that prosecution was then finalized as it was with the guilty verdict being passed against the late Mr. Selebi, together with a term of imprisonment of 15 years. I've dealt over the years with other matters, and I wasn't married only to the corruption matters. We also dealt with some of the murder matters, conspiracies to commit murder, one of those being the matter of athlete Oscar Pistorius. Advocate Nell finished off or chose to leave the National Prosecuting Authority before that matter went back on appeal, and I finalized that matter, and we dealt with various matters over the years. So my experience in terms of matters was mainly organized crime and then into the corruption field.
Have you always been based in Pretoria? You were born in KZN, is it?
That is correct, Chair. My first prosecuting stint on the 1st of June 1996 was at the Magistrates Court in Alberton. For purposes of correctness of the record, I did prosecute on a contract basis in Scottburgh in November, December 95, and January of 96, and then the contract finished, and then I applied to the then Department of Justice and waited for a position, which then became Alberton on the East Rand. I hadn't, other than those 2 or 3 months, prosecuted anywhere in KZN.
Just talk to us briefly about your formative years growing up in KZN.
Honorable Chair, I grew up in rural KZN. It's unfortunate that much of what I experienced then, some of our people still do experience now, which is the lack of running water and ablution facilities. That was the story of the growing up, walking to school at great distances on our rural roads. And there was a time when, fortunately, we were then able to catch a bus and travel great distance to school and back. My only friends at the time, and more so because my late dad was a policeman. In the apartheid era, us as black families were not allowed to be involved in politics, so there was no talk of politics. I had absolutely no political knowledge. I was not politically savvy at all. But we knew that as black people, we stayed together. So we were the only Indian family in that area, and then we had 3 African families, the Hlomayos, Kiliza, the Keles, and those were our best friends. So I grew up playing with my friends, waited for one another when we came from school. I had a favorite meal at the time, which Mam Kiliza used to make, which was samp. I think called them Nusho more now. The kids there had favorite meals at our home. We all also, unfortunately, had to walk to a communal area at the police station to collect water. And so myself and my friends would, with our tubs and buckets, get to the communal area, carry buckets and tubs of water on our heads, walk back down, full up. So I had a very humble rural upbringing. And those were my friends. That is how we grew up. Unfortunately, though, when we went to school, we went to different schools. But after hours, after school, on weekends, that was us, that was family. And that is how we socialized, and that is really my upbringing.
And you also became fluent in isiZulu?
Yes, sir, I did. And if you would allow me, Chair, I taught myself to read. And the one thing I had to read, everywhere I went, I saw a sign. And the sign said, Abahamba kulendlela bayoboshwa. And I needed to know what that meant, because coming or being brought up in rural KZN, there were many farmers, and as we walked those paths from school, that was a very prominent sign. I also had to learn Afrikaans because there was this thing with the dog that said, pas op vir die honde. So that was my first self-taught Zulu speaking and reading. But I'm fluent in Zulu because part of the respect was we taught, myself and my siblings taught my friends English, they taught us isiZulu, and that is how I grew up. Also had to learn Afrikaans, of course, because given what it was at the time, our schools were bilingual, and we had to know English and Afrikaans, because if you failed Afrikaans, you also failed the entire exam. Not just if you failed English, you failed the exam.
Yeah, I think that was the issue that gave rise to, or one of the issues was the language issue, the compulsory Afrikaans that you had to do, even as a black person. Anyway, so that was a political education, I suppose, on its own.